Two of Liberty's women's soccer players earned Big South Player of the Week honors this week. Isabella Habuda was named the Big South's Attacking Player of the Week, and Cora Dunnick was named the Defensive Player of the Week. This is the first Player of the Week honor for them. He says through it all, he is grateful for the support of his team and coaching staff. In this video, we will look at science fiction feature films which were released from 1927 to 2017. Liberty's football team is now 3-4 after a loss to the Monmouth Hawks. The Flames scored a touchdown on their opening drive, but the Hawks answered with a 95-yard punt return. Monmouth dominated the rest of the game. Liberty's quarterback Buckshot Calvert finished the day 25 of 50 with 408 passing yards. The Nationals are hoping to continue their momentum from their 6-3 win Saturday as they battle the Cubs for a spot in the next round. The eighth and final era began in 1995 and is still continuing today. Bryce Harper returned to batting practice for the Washington Nationals for the first time in almost a month. He says the hardest part for him was not being able to hear from his family for over a week after the storm hit. But when he finally did get that first phone call, it was one he will not soon forget. Liberty's men's basketball team was back in practice this week. Head coach Ritchie McKay says he has high expectations for what his team can do on and off the court. McKay knows that winning games is good, but he is just as concerned with helping his team grow into excellent individuals. Liberty tips off their season November 10th in the Vines Center. The Los Angeles Dodgers and Houston Astros are headed to the World Series. This is the first World Series matchup since 1970, where both teams had triple-digit wins in the regular season. This is only the 8th time in history that the two such teams have faced each other in the World Series. Game 1 will be Tuesday in LA. The city of Houston is also dominating on the basketball court. In this week's NBA Power Rankings, the Houston Rockets are in the number 1 spot. The Rockets are 3-0 so far in regular season play. The Spurs check in at number 2, and the third spot belongs to the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors. The Washington Redskins and Philadelphia Eagles face each other in tonight's Monday Night Football matchup. The 3-2 Redskins hope to beat the favored 5-1 Eagles. Former Liberty field hockey player Serena Barr was honored as one of the NCAA nominees for Woman of the Year. Barr finished as a top 9 finalist for the award. Barr played field hockey at Liberty University from 2013 to 2016. A blocked field goal gave Liberty University's football team a win over Indiana State. With 5 seconds left in the game, Liberty's Corbin Jackson blocked Indiana State's Jerry Nunez's 23-yard field goal attempt. The final score in Lynchburg, Liberty Flames 42, Indiana State Sycamores 41. Liberty is now 3-0 for the first time since 2008. Panthers tight end Greg Olsen broke his foot in the Panthers' 9-3 win over the Bills. Olsen had 1 catch for 10 yards before the injury. He's coming off his 3rd consecutive 1,000-yard season and his 81st consecutive start. Olsen will be examined by a doctor Monday. The Ravens' defense continues to dominate. 2 weeks into the season, the Ravens have allowed a total of 10 points. They have also created 10 turnovers. After shutting out the Bengals last week, the Ravens beat the Browns 24-10. The Capitals are preparing for their first exhibition game Monday. Coach Barry Trotz says he only plans to play 8 of his veterans. This will give the new prospects more time out on the ice as they compete for roster spots. Carolina Panthers tight end Ed Dickson had a record day in their game against Detroit. He became the first player in franchise history to have 2 receptions for over 50 yards in one game. He ended the game with 175 yards, more than he had in the last 3 seasons. The Panthers beat the Lions 27-24. The Texans lost at home on Sunday Night Football, and they also lost 2 of their top defenders. Defensive end J.J. Watt and outside linebacker Whitney Merciless both suffered season-ending injuries in the first half of the game. The Texans are now looking to outside linebacker Jadeveon Clowney to be the leader of their defense. The overarching theme in all of these movies and the whole genre is to make the unbelievable possible. Each of these movies makes it seem as though the imaginary is reality. Bringing people back from the dead, transforming into other beings, and space travel are all normal in these films. They are all also examples of films which have withstood the test of time. Most of them have had fairly recent remakes, or characters from these films have appeared in other films recently. thus keeping them alive today. I think the genre will continue to flourish. It has produced the most successful film franchise of all time in Star Wars. The genre is usually also extremely successful at the box office. 6 of the last 10 highest grossing movies this year were sci-fi movies. I do not expect to see this changing anytime soon. Moving forward, I want to use the lessons taught by these films in my career. This genre pushes people to think outside of the box. I want to learn to use my creativity like the creators of these films did. Most of them took risks. They told daring, far-fetched stories, but became successful. I want to learn to trust my work and my creativity enough to take risks and think big.